Well, this could be one of the most important days in Sheffield United's history. The fans have waited 6 long years for an opportunity like this, and the equation is simple. Win against Northampton Town and they will be heading back to the Championship. Blades fans have hated being in the third tier. Well, after lots of frustration, lots of heartache and some near misses as well, Sheffield United could be on their way back come 10-5 today.
He'll find his touch, and he's a player that I like. We've seen a lot of him for 20 minutes or so, and that's worked well. Let's see if he can do it for the full 90 minutes.
So the ball is out of play as one or two late arrivals on the far side still make their way to their sun-drenched seats, and the throw-in is intercepted down the far side by Buchanan and cleared away high up towards the halfway line. Sheffield United battling for the ball but lose out in the middle third. Coots is now pressing Williams, one of a couple of changes for them today. I'll run through the two starting 11s in a moment, as Richards, with his back to the defender Basham, is caught unawares, and the Blades will win the ball back. So Sheffield United have Muller in goal, Basham right and O'Connell at the back. In midfield, Freeman, Coots, Carruthers, Fleck and Lafferty, O'Shea and Clark are the front two. And here is Jay O'Shea chipping it forward towards Leon Clark. It was too high and too quick for him to get on it, and the ball drops behind for a goal kick. As regards Northampton, Adam Smith is in goal, Brendan Maloney, Xander Diamond, Lewin Nyatanga and David Buchanan are at the back. In midfield it's a 4-4-2, Paul Anderson on the right, John Joe O'Toole, Matt Taylor and Luke Williams on the left. Mark Richards and Michael Smith are the front two for the Cobblers. There's been an early goal at Ewood Park, Tom Biltcliffe.
And it's Blackburn Rovers 0, Barnsley 1. It was Ryan Kent's in-swinger flicked on at the near post, and the skipper Mark Roberts has poached at the back post. Barnsley lead by a goal to 0.
Well, 0-0 here. The Blades fans are nestled in high behind the goal. A lot of the red and white flags are being waved above the heads of supporters back there too. Many still clapping, trying to urge their team on here. It's a party atmosphere before the party has been given the all clear to start. 2.5 minutes, and here's Simon Moore in quite a striking fluorescent yellow. It's smacked upfield. It will drop on the head of David Buchanan, and the ever-present left back goes out of play on the far side for a throw-in to Sheffield United. Different personnel, quite strikingly different personnel, but it is same formation, Keith Edwards, so the players should be comfortable with
I think, well, yes, I agree. I think they'll set into a pattern of play, something they've relied on all season and since basically Chris started. But I think you'll see one or two misunderstandings when the likes of O'Shea won't have played with Clark. You've got to learn about people and people's strength, and even in this early stages we've seen the ball given away just because they're not quite sure what that type of player wants. And what I love to see is when partnerships build. For example, Sharp and Hansen, straight away they seem to have got that understanding and they've hit it off. Fleck and Coos, they play well together, but you'll see a few mistakes today.
And here's Lafferty, tight to the left-hand side. In it goes to Clark, who made contact with the ball 6 yards out, but he was crowded out by two in claret, and the ball is forced away for a throw-in on this near side. O'Connell will leave the throw-in taking duties to Danny Lafferty. Has a promotion on his CV, of course, with Burnley, desperate for another because he's played more of a role in this one than he did in that one, as O'Connell on the stretch loops the ball high into the air. The charge from O'Shea is a forlorn one. I'm not entirely sure if he ever held any real hope of actually getting there, and the ball drops behind for a goal kick, which Adam Smith will take. Chesterfield fans might remember him from a very brief loan spell that he had at the football club, as all the outfield players concertina in and around the middle third. The Blades fans still in full voice here at Sixfields. No chances if you're just tuning into us here on the radio, as the ball is looped upfield. It's won well in the air by Coots and will be picked up by Paul Anderson, the right winger for Northampton on this near side. He spread play beautifully to the far side. Buchanan keeps it in play by looping it over the head of Freeman. Then there's an important header by Basham, and as Sheffield United try and break down the far side, Carruthers' pass forward is just too far in front of Freeman. Out of play it goes for a throw-in, and he's not found his radar yet?
Not quite. Yeah, he's given it away a couple of times. Well, I touched on that and make it I think you'll see a few mistakes.
Well, here on the edge of the box, it's Williams turning inside left channel of the box, brings it on his right boot and dawdles, and Freeman gets across. Coots, the beneficiary of the challenge, will hoist the ball clear to halfway. So goalless here at Sixfields. Don't forget, of course, that Sheffield United only need to match Fleetwood's result. So if they both lose, although that will be something of an anticlimax, then Sheffield United are promoted anyway. Chris Wilder won't be hoping for that as Carruthers picks out O'Shea. O'Shea slaloming upfield will turn, plays it square to the industrious John Fleck, and now Lafferty level with the edge of the Northampton box, pulled back here. Carruthers on the half volley, off the bar. It could have been the most spectacular opener. Samir Carruthers a whisker away from getting his first Blades goal. It would have been spectacular, but the crossbar's still rattling. Yeah,
that's a good move, isn't it? His first touch was really good. It sat up nicely for him. He's had a little bit of a volley, just caught the top of the crossbar. Yeah, nice stuff. There you are. That's the type of player he possibly is. He's given the ball away twice. He doesn't look as if he's got his range, and he nearly scores the opening goal. Just to say as well, I think the formation is slightly altered. We've got O'Shea and Carruthers playing left and right, with Clark basically up front on his own. That's something we haven't seen before, but you've got people supporting him, and because of the changes, I can understand that.
Well, coming across, O'Connell clips his header out of play. Samir Carruthers' last goal in league football was for the MK Dons against Northampton earlier in the season, so he clearly fancies his chances against the Cobblers. 6.5 gone. Blades with the best and indeed only chance, and but for a lick of paint may well be leading. Maloney's forced to push the ball back to halfway. Xander Diamond, the Scot, loops it upfield, but it's straight onto the outstretched toe end of Chris Basham, and the ball is smacked across field into touch on this near side. Here's O'Connell, allows the ball to bounce in conversation with Danny Lafferty, and is able to clear, and now Leon Clark from a misplaced Northampton header stretches forward in the centre circle. He's done well to bring in Carruthers here. Lovely turn, and now O'Shea breaks corner of the penalty area. He will bend one just wide of the diving Adam Smith, wide of the post as well, and Sheffield United look as though they are in top form early on here, and yet it remains 0-0.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a start, is it? Nice early pass for O'Shea to latch onto. We've seen that he's keen to get forward and score goals from midfield. He normally plays a little bit deeper, but he's got that opportunity to get down this left-hand side. He's curled it, missed the target, but it was a fair effort.
So Carruthers off the bar, and O'Shea narrowly wide, but ultimately off target. And Sheffield United are safe in the knowledge that they are the better team after 7.5, nearly 8 minutes here. No goals, incidentally, at the Keep Moat Stadium. The only goal in our fixtures this afternoon is at Ewood Park, where Mark Roberts has put Barnsley in front. We'll head round the ground in a second. There is a little bit of a discussion with the referee out on the field of play. John Joe O'Toole protesting his innocence, former Sheffield United loanee. He's got 12 this season for Northampton, and in bother with the referee, so it will be a free kick to Sheffield United. Standing over the ball, it's Jake Wright. I know we keep banging on about this, but it is quite the achievement. Still unbeaten. He picked his injury time well, but still unbeaten nevertheless, as Wright feeds the ball to Basham on the right, and he slips the ball onto Coots, who looks up, lifting it long. Lafferty's made half a break away from Anderson here, and he brings in O'Shea. Back out wide to Lafferty again. In goes the cross, and Clark was there on the edge of the box. Coots following up. It's pinballing around, and then Coots with the spectacular volley from about 12 yards out. He hit it cleanly whilst falling backwards, and it loops just over the angle of crossbar and post.
Well, it's nice to be able to say we're getting plenty of people in the box. Obviously Freeman was in there as well, and we've got the forwards, midfield players, got plenty of them today. That's nice that they're getting into the box, creating chances.
Wonderful start for Barnsley at Ewood Park, Tom Bilcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2. Marley Watkins picks the ball up 25 yards out, thunders it in off the underside of the bar. It was given by the linesman on this near touchline. The Barnsley fans enjoying themselves in the Lancashire sunshine. They lead by 2-0.
Next stop, DW Stadium, Mike Minay.
Wigan 0, Rotherham 0, but two big chances for both sides due to defensive errors. Howgard in the Wigan goal gave it to Danny Ward, practically an open net, and he missed it. And at the other end, Gabriel Obertan received it from the back line of Rotherham, and he put it wide through Max Power. It's Wigan 0, Rotherham 0.
So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Moore has made a comfortable save from across from the right-hand side. How are the Spyrights getting on, Matt Shaw?
They are scoreless with Port Vale, 0-0 here, but they're playing with a lot of energy, and Christian Dennis forced a very good save out of the Port Vale keeper, Dennis Memory, a left-footed strike from the edge of the area, curling towards the goal, but palmed wide by the keeper. 10 minutes gone, Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0.
Now Smith, former Barnsley man, on this near side, just taking the ball away from O'Connell. It's brought back here to Maloney, swirling cross into the box, and a volley over from Richards. 6 yards out, hit it clean, but it was always rising. Moore barely moved, but that was a great chance. Had he have made good contact, the Blades might be behind.
That's what happens when you put a nice early cross in. Their players may be used to it. I think we're still learning about service to the strikers, and overall, he should have scored there. Really, he's got 3 in the 6-yard box. Difficult one for our keeper to come for. It was that good of a ball in, so we have a little bit of a let-off there.
Well, this game, which is a shade under 11 minutes old, has had 3 good chances, 2 for the Blades, 1 for Northampton in the sunshine at Sixfields. Leon Clark with a little flick on down the far side. The ball will roll through towards Adam Smith, and he just tries to calm things down. Chris Wilder, against his former club, already stood on the edge of the technical area, billowing out instructions as Michael Smith wins the header. The ball might drop in now for Anderson. The Blades get back. Anderson, the former Liverpool Academy player, shoots low, and in the end it bounces well wide of Moore's goal to the right. He fashioned to make the save, but didn't actually have to make one. 0-0, Keith Edwards.
Yeah, we're fine with shots from that kind of distance. I don't blame the lad for having a bit of a pop. He's maybe a confident player, but that kind of distance, it would have to be a world beater.
Well, Justin Edinburgh has brought something to the party here after he succeeded Rob Page. They have failed to win their last 3, but they'd won 3 on the spin prior to that. Northampton, in their media, were putting out all the messages that they're not safe yet. 1 more win should do it, although they probably are. But I'm sure they would like that victory at some stage just to make absolutely certain. So they still believe they have something to play for, as Adam Smith hoists the ball out of hand straight across halfway. O'Toole with the ponytail flicks the ball onto Smith, and it's turned out wide. It's behind Anderson. He can't recover quickly, so Sheffield United will get a throw in just in front of Justin Edinburgh here. It's his 16th match in charge, and Jack O'Connell will come down to take the throw in. The only options really are up the line, so O'Connell with Fleck in close attendance, and Lafferty just a bit further up the line. Lafferty battling for it, but loses out to the bearded Anderson, and now O'Connell again. It will drop in now for Leon Clark, maybe. It's turned back to the goalkeeper by Lewin Nyatanga. Clark can't get there. Smith will, but a good old-fashioned wallop out of play gives Sheffield United the ball back. And Lafferty will prepare to take that throw-in. No goals here, some good chances. We've had 13 minutes. Samir Carruthers has hit the bar. Coots was very narrowly wide with a volley. Mark Richards perhaps should have scored 2 from 6 yards out, as O'Shea turns it back to Carruthers. He keeps it moving square to Fleck. Sheffield United dominating the ball as you might expect. Now O'Shea into the feet of Carruthers. Central position, it's farmed back out wide to the left, and Lafferty. He scampers after it, keeps it in play, evades the first defender, but he can't evade him at the second attempt. Brendan Maloney's done well there. Northampton break towards halfway, and now O'Toole loses out. There was a touch on the ball from Fleck there. It allowed Coos to tidy up. Back it goes to the goalkeeper Moore, and Sheffield United retain every reason to be cheerful. Good control by Fleck. I'm not entirely sure Moore meant the pass, but let's give him credit. Here's O'Shea, corner of the penalty box now, turning, bringing it onto his right boot. The cross takes a deflection. It will be picked up by Luke Williams here. So the home side in claret and white playing from left to right. It's driven upfield by Williams, but it's cannoned off the head of one of his own players, Taylor there. Northampton still look to build here, and Richards has got half a yard on Basham, forced to the far side. Coots is now pressuring Richards, and Richards gets the ball back to the defender Buchanan. Infield now to Matty Taylor, former Portsmouth man. He drills it crossfield. It's just about kept in play by Maloney. Maloney bending it forward. O'Connell is there to clear away from the edge of the box. Goalless it remains here at Sixfields. No goals in the match involving Oldham and Fleetwood either. Barnsley 2-0 up at Ewood. No goals in any of our other featured matches. So as things stand, Sheffield United will be promoted today. Ball tossed to the edge of the box. On the stretch, John Joe O'Toole will keep it in play by the corner flag. and he will wriggle away from Lafferty a little bit too easily. O'Toole drills in the cross, but it hit awkwardly off O'Connell, and spirits away for a throw-in on this near side.
Well, it's end-to-end, isn't it? It started a lot better than the midweek game. Both teams look lively and trying to progress down either side of the flank, so yeah, it's not too bad of a game with one or two half chances.
So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Fleck sticks his studs through the ball to turn it away from Anderson, and it will be another throw-in to Northampton Town here. There are a smattering of fans on the Sheffield United slope away to our left-hand side. I had envisaged a few more, but actually, looking at the view, maybe not. Here's O'Toole just in from the corner flag here, deep inside Blades territory, wriggling away from Fleck. Fleck puts his left boot through the ball, it goes back out of play, so Sheffield United just keeping Northampton at arm's length, but they are still inside Sheffield United's half. Now Anderson gets it back out wide to Maloney. Coots challenge, it deflects off the defender and back out of play. It goes for a throw in to Sheffield United. The Blades 12 unbeaten coming into this game. They only really have had blips, save for the first month of the season. They've had the odd defeat here, and when they have lost, it's almost taken everybody by surprise. They've had that type of season.
Walsall,
yeah.
How can you do so well and lose to the team 3 times? That's football for you.
Even the Fleetwood result, as good as they were at Bramall Lane, took a few by surprise, as Moore with a giant fist punches away from the edge of the box to clear away from Mark Richards. And now Anderson will give the ball away, and Leon Clark latches onto it just to the left of the centre circle. Northampton backtracking, Clark still going, tries to beat the man again. The challenge is there from Xander Diamond, and it's a good one. Clark wins it back, and Diamond again pushes the ball behind, and it will be a goal kick. Well, Leon Clark there was forced wide of goal. Could he have done a little bit better, or did Diamond do well?
Well, I think that we'll give the credit to the defender, but I would say ought to be blessed with pace.
Yeah. Although, well, we did say in commentary, well, I did, so he does look deceptively quick sometimes, Leon Clark, but not then.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it, Andy. Well done. I think I couldn't have done that better. But I think yeah, it was just a bit of pace lacking, wasn't it?
So Leon Clark had the chance. Scunthorpe 1, Bolton 0, so a big game for both those teams, and it could affect, of course, should Sheffield United get automatic promotion, how the Blades get on up when they have that chance to seal the League One title. Scunthorpe, of course, have had a horrendous time of it. They desperately need the win to make sure they can cling on to a playoff place. You're listening to Football Heaven, BBC Radio Sheffield. We're at Sixfields for your FM commentary. Sheffield United, as things stand, will be promoted back to the Championship today. They have to better Fleetwood's result in a 0-0 in both games. Clearly, hopefully, Sheffield United will earn victory today, so it doesn't really matter what Fleetwood do anyway. Here's O'Toole by the corner flag on this near side there right. The cross drops at the feet of Jake Wright, and only as far as Maloney. Maloney beats the first challenge from Fleck and the second from Lafferty, but not the third from O'Connell. A timely interception from Jack O'Connell, who brings it clear in the left back position and gets a throw-in. No, he doesn't get the throw, and it cannoned off O'Connell rather than the other Northampton player there who was in close attendance, Maloney. So it will be a throw-in to the Cobblers midway through Sheffield United territory. No goals yet, a shade under 19 minutes of the game played here, and the ball is in the only part of the pitch that is under shade. Maloney will cross high into the box. Richards is there, but Basham gets a very telling header. He's done well there, Chris Basham. Wriggling for it, Kieran Freeman out on the far side completes the clearance. He does get the ball away. So it's a good job he hit that, Chris Basham, with his head, because Richards was fancying his chances again.
Yes, another couple of feet on that. I think he would have been in again. To be fair, it's good delivery, and I think Basham's done well to recognise where the cross is going to come in from and dealt with it well.
Well, Chris Wilder and Alan Neal, who know all about Sixfields, are busily waving their hands to make sure everybody's in the right position. Northampton take the throw from the far side, and here's a wild effort from the left winger on the far touchline, Williams, but in the end it's well clear and somebody, a Sheffield United fan just behind the goal, I think has taken a bit of a tumble as he tried to get the ball back over the advertising hoardings. Not entirely sure how. Maybe it was a swing and a miss. Well, anyway, he did enough.
That's why he watches football and doesn't play.
Well, maybe he had a couple of points on the way down.
He's still practicing now. I can see him. Out of all them people there in red and white, I can see him trying to practice.
Look what I did. I swung my left boot and didn't make contact.
Trust me, son, you don't do it like that.
Well, Moore will lift the goal kick clearance high and across halfway from right to left. It's not a bad performance so far from Sheffield United. They've had more of the chances, but it remains 0-0. We'll whip round the grounds in a second as Lafferty feeds Carruthers. Carruthers now leaves it for Lafferty, who wriggles in away from Anderson, and now O'Shea, 25 yards out. Ball pulled back here to Coots. Coots looking for an option right, but then jockeys to go to the left-hand side, and now here's Coots. Into Carruthers, quite congested in the middle third, but Sheffield United comfortable in possession. Out to Lafferty. Clark's trying to peel away from the defender, but Northampton keep the blades at arm's length. Very quickly, Ewood Park, Tom Biltcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2 through goals through Roberts and Watkins. Barnsley full of energy despite having little to play for. Blackburn look aside drained of confidence. 22 minutes into this one, Barnsley still lead 2-0.
Wigan Rotherham, here's in fact we'll go there in a second. John Fleck picks up the ball 25 yards out. He's been allowed to canter forward, and then intercepting Xander Diamond. Come in Mike Miney at the DW Stadium.
Still goalless here with both sides showing their defensive frailties that's hit them most of this season really. Anthony Ford had it on the right hand side, whipped it into the box for Joe Newell, who's in plenty of space. First time volley, but no power behind the shot, and straight at Jacob Haugaard in the Wigan goal. Wigan 0, Rotherham 0.
And Chesterfield Port Vale, Matt Shaw.
Still Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0. It has to be said, there hasn't been a lot of action since we were last with us. Both teams trying to create chances but failing to do so. Still Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0.
Well, it's goalless here, you've missed nothing. Northampton have a free kick on the far side, which Buchanan stands over. He drills a high diagonal free kick to the edge of the box. Smith's underneath it, so too O'Connell, defending well for the Blades here. Now here's Maloney with another cross. He shepherds the ball in low trajectory, and it's walloped clear by O'Connell, and it might come here for Clark. A bouncing ball, an awkward one. Lewin Nyatanga, the Reds' low knee, just gets there ahead of him. So in the nick of time for Northampton, and it's tossed back upfield where Jake Wright's loose header will be picked up by Anderson. Anderson having a bit of a battle with Lafferty. Lafferty swings his boot through the ball to get it clear. It's quite tight on this near side, and then Lafferty shoots out. He appeared to, well, he did take out the Northampton man, there's no doubt about that, but with his arm rather than his leg. So it will be a free kick to Northampton on this near side, and an opportunity for them, another one, to get the ball into the box, and delivery for them today has been good. So no goals here. We've had the first quarter of proceedings at Sixfields, and it remains 0-0.
Interesting fact, Coots, big compliment today to get the captaincy armband. I thought, if you'd have asked me beforehand, I would have guessed Fleck. And I think that's a huge compliment to the likes of Coots. When you look at some of the players in there, you've got Basham and people like that who could have easily took that role over. But that just shows you how much there's management.
In comes Taylor. The cross goes up and away from O'Connell, who many believe might be a future Sheffield United captain, but it is. Paul Coots has really turned his Sheffield United career around. Here's Fleck. Across halfway it goes. O'Shea tries to ride the tackle. He's got possession, and then it's nicked away from him by Anderson. Fleck slides in. Powerful challenge. Carruthers turns into the tackle. Both have done well there. And now Fleck hits it forward. Nyatanga on the volley, right-footed, gets it clear. On to Coots. Now Carruthers brings it down, and his cushioned header is picked up by Paul Coots here. O'Shea swipes one into the middle of the park where Clark's cushioned header was sent in search of Carruthers, but Diamond's there, and he's volleyed the ball out of play for a throw-in on the far side, and he's just clapped his Northampton teammates just to switch on a little bit more. Sheffield United had to work hard for their possession there, but they did, and they're obviously a little bit concerned by that.
Yeah. Well, I think both teams are working very hard. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's a battle of midfielders at the moment in time. We're playing that extra player in midfield. I would say we're winning that battle, but we're having to work very hard at it. As always, Fleck and Coots having a big say in that.
Now Fleck rolling a disguised diagonal ball up to Clark. Now Carruthers. Carruthers has options. One of them's Freeman's on the right-hand side. Not had chance to run and cross yet in this game, and he won't get the opportunity then. Carruthers slips it back to Coots. Coots drills the ball crossfield in search of Lafferty. Then O'Connell battles for it. Taylor gets it clear, and now Fleck for Sheffield United. No goals here, and O'Connell will turn. The Blades have hit the post. They've had 2 excellent chances. Northampton have had 1, and all in the first 13 minutes or so. We've had 24 now, and a shove right in the back of Kieran Freeman, right in the referee's direct line of sight, and it will be a free kick to the Blades. Coots has gone out there to take it. West Brom 0, Southampton 1. If this is the first time tuning into your football, Spurs won 4-0 against Watford earlier as Freeman pushes the ball past Williams, but straight into the path of Buchanan, and the ball is cleared by the Northampton left back on the far side, and out of play it goes. So Fleck's gone across to at least think about taking it, but as is always the way, he will leave it for Kieran Freeman. So Sheffield United and Northampton going head to head, as Sheffield United hold possession with Fleck. It's played back into the centre circle, and now O'Connell, who has plenty of room to work with here. O'Connell looks up, drills a high diagonal ball looking for Freeman. It just bounced a couple of times and away from him, and it drops behind for a goal kick. After that vibrant start, Keith Edwards, we now have that long.
Yeah, it's just settled down a bit. I think still finding the feet. I don't think it's too bad of a start. I like the fact that Carruthers looks very lively and is prepared to run at people. We'll get it going again. We said this on against Coventry, and we looked at it and thought, are we going to bring our game on? And eventually we do. Sometimes we just have to be a little bit more patient.
Well, it is goalless, and Sheffield United do possess the best away attack in League One. We'll be looking to, mind you, most of the reason for that is sat on the bench right now, as the ball is tossed down the far side. Lewin Nyatanga gets in a tangle, and Leon Clark capitalises. Inside right channel of the box, looks to tee up Carruthers, but then Northampton get back, and it's going to be intercepted. It's Buchanan who gets the clearance away. For a second there, I thought Northampton had been spliced open.
Yeah, well, Clark did the hard bit by winning the ball that he shouldn't have won, and he's got through, but his pullback wasn't the best. And if you looked at Lafferty on the far post, he was clear there, so wasn't the best choice of passes, but credit to him for persevering with the ball, and he won a ball that he shouldn't have done.
So 27 gone, 0-0, no goals at Oldham either. Now O'Shea. Ball rolled square into the path of Coots. He lifts a delightful ball out to the left-hand side, and Lafferty brings it under control into Carruthers. Back it comes to Lafferty at the byline. On the stretch, he can't make contact across, and it goes behind, and it remains 0-0. But yet more intricate build-up play from Sheffield United. It's probably fair to say Sheffield United have given Northampton more to worry about recently than the other way around, but not by much.
Yeah, I think we're nicely in control of it in some respects. Lovely ball from Coots, and I think for me Lafferty just frustrates me a little bit, because in football all you ever do is play for 1 against 1, and if you can get 1 against 1 in the box, for me he should be dropping his shoulder and taking him on, and then either putting it across the box or having a go himself, and he never seems to get that opportunity to say, well, yes, I'm going to take you on now.
Well, Diamond with a double header. Oldham 1, Fleetwood 0. So Oldham helping Sheffield United out and themselves at the wrong end of the League One table. So Oldham are leading Fleetwood by a goal to 0. And Crawley 1, Plymouth 0. Plymouth could secure a playoff place today, but they'll have to win as the ball's played through to Smith, edge of the box. He shoots first time. Brilliant save by Moore. Stuck out a giant right palm, having committed to make the save low down. And what a telling touch it was. And he's able to get the clearance away. 0-0.
Yeah, the good thing about that save is he's got his angles right. You could see it was from, we were in the perfect spot. It's going in the bottom corner, but he's covered all options, and that's what I like about the goalkeeper. It wasn't a panic. He's not got it first time, but he's aware of the fact that there's nobody else in the box. But the fact that he's got his angles right, that's the reason why he saved it.
There's been a goal at the DW Stadium, Mike Miney.
Yes, and without an away win in 20 games, but Rotherham United have the lead. Danny Ward's first league goal in 2017. Darnell Fisher inside the penalty area on the right, squared it across to Danny Ward, who only had to slot it home under the goalkeeper. Wigan 0, Rotherham 1.
We'll check on Barnsley and Chesterfield in a second, but Sheffield United control the ball in the centre circle, and it's pushed through here. Jay O'Shea's racing after it, goes through one-on-one, but the keeper, Smith, gets there just before him and clears it away. But Sheffield United still on the front foot. Lafferty dinks to cross, then swipes the cross in, downward header away. Williams should pick this up, he's blocked off. Coots will pick up the loose ball, out it goes to Freeman down the right hand side. Infield now to Carruthers. Freeman takes the challenge, the referee is waving a flag for a free kick, and it will be a free kick to Sheffield United just outside of the corner of the penalty box.
Yeah, I think the linesman actually gave us it. He recognised that it was a foul. Nice little 1-2. Carruthers very much involved, and Freeman down that right hand side. What I like about it is, and I've said this many times, it's a nicely balanced side, isn't it? As much as I want Lafferty to give us a little bit more on this left hand side, always makes himself available. And of course you've got Freeman on the right hand side, and we invariably get down both flanks, and that's, from a forwards point of view, that's got to be nice, because it gives you the opportunity to score goals from both flanks.
We'll head round the grounds in a second. Sheffield United with a free kick. Fleck prepares to take said free kick, no more than 2 metres away from the corner of the penalty box. The likes of Wright have gone forward. He's just having a word with Jay O'Shea. He's sent him out to the far touchline at the very least to cause some confusion in the Northampton defence. Maybe one more instruction from this free kick. Leon Clark's a big target, we know that. Jack O'Connell's got a few goals this season. So now Sheffield United have that free kick out on the far side. Fleck will take it, bent in at the near post of the keeper, who stood his ground, slaps the ball into the turf and makes the save on the half hour.
Well, the keeper would have been disappointed if he let that in, but it was a nice effort from there. We were thinking it was going to the far post, and he's trying to curl one onto the near post. So a fair effort, made the keeper bring a save.
Come in Tom Bilt, Clifford Ewood Park.
Barnsley still in complete command and have forced Jason Steele into some routine staves. Adam Davis remains relatively untested by Wednesday Loney, Lucas Zhao and company, and so Barnsley still lead by 2-0.
So here's Richards for Northampton. Back it comes to O'Toole, who slips it down the right flank this near side for Maloney. Standing him up Fleck, but Maloney's ghosted round him. Hooks in the cross left-footed, easy for Moore to deal with. And Matt Shaw's at the Proax Stadium.
Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0. The Spy Rights still trying to work an opening here, but struggling. Paul McGinn had a header, went just wide from Dan Jones's cross. Port Vale building into this, putting plenty of cross into the area, but Chesterfield unfazed so far. Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0.
Ball bent down the line is cleared away by Lewin Nyatanga, so Sheffield United have a throw in. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield, 32 gone here. Fleetwood are losing, so Sheffield United would be promoted today if that stays the same regardless, but they're looking to win. And now Lafferty will wriggle away from the defender Maloney. Infield it goes to Fleck, and now Coots in his black change shirt for Sheffield United to Fleck on halfway once again. Spots a pass and scoops the ball away from O'Toole out to Basham on the far side, and he spots the runner O'Shea driving towards the byline, but it just had too much on it. Right thought as it scampered through the 18-yard box, but it goes behind goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Saying in football, don't mind giving the ball away in the final third, and if that comes off, if he takes a bit of pace off the ball, then he's through on the right hand side, and that will give the strikers some chance.
Manchester City 1, Hull City 0 in the Premier League. Southampton were leading at West Brom. And it will be a goal kick which Smith will take. Adam Smith will be after a 10th clean sheet of the season. It's looped upfield, high and across halfway. Michael Smith is underneath it, but so too is O'Connell, and his left leg deflects the ball to Carruthers. Then Smith gets back. Carruthers is still chasing, but Maloney in the fluorescent yellow boots brings it clear. Chipped across halfway for the runner Anderson. Anderson takes control as O'Connell slips. Still going Anderson to the edge of the box. He shoots low. A diving outstretched leg of Jake Wright blocks, and Sheffield United clear, but only temporarily. Michael Smith's cross is blocked by a rising Lafferty. Cries of handball. Unfair. Referee agrees clearly it's no free kick, and appeared to rattle off his backside rather more than anything else, or at worst it was ball to hand. But Northampton retain possession with Nyatanga. He slips it square to Diamond on halfway. The centre-half pumps it long to the edge of the penalty area. Freeman's underneath it and clears into the feet of O'Shea, who scoops it over his head. And now on the far side, it's picked up by Matt Taylor. Up goes the cross. In the header by Anderson. And O'Connell is there. And Sheffield United clear into the centre circle. It's a loose pass from Lafferty ultimately. And Northampton Town get it back. Here's Taylor. There's been a goal at the DW there in a tick as O'Connell dawdles here and then had to recover with real pace, deflecting the ball out of play. And he'd let it drop, and Smith almost sensed an opportunity to get in there, but he recovered with a sliding challenge to get the ball away. Here's Maloney coming forward to take an attacking throw in here. Goalless at Sixfields between Northampton and Sheffield United, but Aldemar leading Fleetwood. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Maloney with the throw-in. O'Toole shows for it on this near side, but it's intercepted by Fleck. O'Toole battling, wins it back, and then Lafferty smashes it clear into the centre circle. Leon Clark's tearing after the loose ball. Just a little bit of defensive work for Sheffield United to do here as Maloney drags his studs over the ball before Carruthers gets in. Mike Miney's watching Wigan-Rotherham.
5 minutes the lead lasted for Rotherham. Wigan 1, Rotherham 1. Overton on the half volley into the bottom left-hand corner after Rotherham once again failed to clear the ball. It's Wigan 1, Rotherham 1.
So Sheffield United on course for automatic promotion today. They'd like a goal, and O'Connell will take charge of a throw-in 10 yards away from a pointing and waving Justin Edinburgh. Yes, Jack O'Connell has stolen about a yard or two there, but the referee's not that bothered, so the throw-in will take place. Then O'Toole having almost an arm wrestle with Jay O'Shea there. Northampton come up with possession, and now Nyatanga sweeping the ball along his defence to left back Buchanan, and Buchanan's ball forward drops out of play on the far side. So 9 minutes to go to the break. Well, I dare say both managers will be reasonably happy with the performance, but clearly the onus is on Sheffield United today more than Northampton Town. Chris Wilder looking for quite the remarkable story. He would be the first manager since Neil Warnock to achieve successive promotions with two different teams. Warnock did that in the mid-90s. However, I don't suppose he had the quirk of trying to achieve that promotion against the team he last managed. As the ball's tossed long in search of Leon Clark, a back-diving Xander Diamond gets the header away. Buchanan goes across the left back and will scoop it out of upfield, out of danger and upfield, and now Coots to Carruthers. Scoreline locked at 0-0 here. Freeman is blocked by Williams, and the winger goes away down the far side. Freeman tries to get back, he takes on Coots too, and then a sliding Chris Basham gets a heavy clearance. It goes high into the Northampton half, and it's swept back by the goalkeeper here. So 37 minutes of the game played here. We will have commentary later in full of Sheffield Wednesday against Newcastle, but we'll see what happens as regards automatic promotion as to when it starts on FM or not, incidentally, Blades fans. If things stay the same, we would love to hear from you upon full time. We'll bring you as much reaction as we possibly can from the two matches for which automatic promotion is on the line. Incidentally, no goals at the Keepmoat Stadium yet either. Equation the same for Donny. And the game is kind of meandering in the sunshine, Keith Edwards.
Yes, it is. Nearly dozed off for a minute there. Yeah, it's not really going anywhere, is it? I think the ball's been knocked up to Clark a few times. He hasn't really read the situation. We want him to be a target man. I'm not quite sure how he sees his role, but today should be the fact that he's up there on his own, lead the attack, hold it up for the players. But he's missed an awful lot of surface, and he doesn't really. I don't think he relishes that position of playing up there on his own. He wants somebody up there with him, but he's trying to get two people supporting him, but it's not quite working at the moment.
Well, the ball has gone out of play on the far side. The Blades fans who are out there are drenched in sunshine. The Blades fans behind the goal are covered. I dare say there will be some burnt faces in the office on Monday morning, though, if they've been out there. The Saxelby Blades amongst others, as Williams cuts in field, lets one fly low. It's blocked by Freeman, then he's fouled in the box by Williams. And Sheffield United will be able to take the free kick and get the ball clear. So, football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. It's not the explosive contest perhaps we were hoping for. Well, in the first 10 minutes or so, there were lots of great chances. If you are just tuning in, Carruthers swiped one off the bar, then Coots, after Jay O'Shea had curled one wide, made contact on the volley. It was a scissor-kicked volley towards goal, but in the end he couldn't quite get it on target. It was just over the crossbar and post. And Mark Richards had a volley which he really should have scored 6 yards out, but he skied it over as well. But in terms of good chances, that really has been that. Nyatanga and Clark tussling for it just behind the centre circle, and Nyatanga lifts it clear before it's pushed back to the goalkeeper Moore, a little short. The clearance is an awkward one. Basham with that short back pass, but Sheffield United recover, but ultimately concede the free kick, Keith Edwards.
Yeah, it's a little bit scrappy, isn't it, in the last 10 minutes or so. The game's threatened to be a good game, but then whenever it does, it just sort of peters out, and one or two loose mistakes. I basically said about that, whenever you change your team around, it's never quite the same, is it? And people have got to get to know the players, but overall it's not too bad of a game. We just it's good with a few more goal attempts, it'll liven it up.
Well, the stage may well be set for Messrs Sharp, Hanson and Duffy in the second half at some part. Neither are starting today. As the ball is back with Maloney, let's head to Ewood Park. Tom Biltcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2. Dissenting voices from the majority around the ground as Blackburn become increasingly desperate. One goal would completely change the dynamic, you feel. Lucas Zhao missed an absolute sitter, who was thankful for an offside flag. Barnsley still lead by 2-0.
Well, Sharp chasing down a hopeful ball, but Nyatanga gets in to intercept left back position, and Buchanan will clear it towards halfway. No goals here, incidentally. Oldham are beating Fleetwood, so Sheffield United don't need any help, but they are getting it. And Oldham, of course, clearly doing themselves a favour. Next stop, Wigan, Mike Miney.
Well, the game's died down a little. Still Wigan 1, Rotherham 1, but it is the home side who are increasing the pressure on the Rotherham backline. Gabriel Obertan pulling all the strings so far for the Latics, but it remains Wigan 1, Rotherham 1.
And Chesterfield, Port Vale. Here's Matt Shaw.
Chesterfield 0, Port Vale 0. We just have a delay in play at the minute. We're having a water break. I kid you not, we are having a water break. There's not a lot to report on the field. It's been very, very uneventful. 0-0 here.
Well, 0-0 here. 3 minutes to go to half-time. And Buchanan will take it. It's his 50th appearance of the season. And he will send that throw in across halfway. Up and off the head of Kieran Freeman, flicked backwards off the head of Carruthers, and now here's Jake Wright. The ball will drop in the centre circle here and be swept by Matt Taylor back to Xander Diamond. The Scot now will launch it forward here in search of Anderson, but striding past him, Jake Wright with the headed clearance away. Now Matt Taylor rolling it wide to Maloney, who's the fullback out on the overlap. Maloney cuts in past Lafferty, stands up the cross left-footed. Here's an opportunity for Smith here. Richards tries to get the knockdown. One or two muted cries of penalty, but none were forthcoming, quite rightly so. Sheffield United will clear it long. Leon Clark's after it. Clark shielding the ball. Back it comes now to O'Shea as reinforcements arrive here. John Fleck's in a central position and he wants it. First touch and he's away from the defender, but into another. And they will win it back, and Williams shepherds it back to the goalkeeper Adam Smith, who will send it upfield on his right foot here. It's allowed to just sail over the head of Jake Wright, and now O'Connell. O'Connell was clearly shoved by John Joe O'Toole. The Blades fans protest in favour of their teammate, and that free kick is coming. Northampton fans don't like it. Well, he's got 12 goals this season, John Joe O'Toole. He never really looked like doing that for Sheffield United. He did score, but, well, was never particularly prominent.
Oh, your memory's better than mine. I can't even remember him.
Well, if you can't remember him, there you go.
That tells its own story, doesn't it? If it doesn't stick in my memory, it can't have done any good. So I think just earlier on there, we've got good movement. Fleck will be a little bit disappointed with his touch on that occasion, because he had a 1-against-1 and was the ball over hit. Well, that's how they pass it today. They smash it in pretty hard. I think it should be a weighted pass more than anything, but just need to see a little bit more from the likes of Clark. Plus, he needs a little bit more support.
Well, in isolation, this game needs a goal. In terms of occasion, things are going for Sheffield United today. Football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. And it will be a free kick on the far side, which Smith will come out to take. Incidentally, earlier Spurs beat Watford 4-0. Man City are leading Hull City by 1-0, and Southampton are 1-up at West Brom. All the half-time scores then coming up shortly. Stoke 1, Liverpool 0 is now our latest score in the top flight as well, as Adam Smith will loop the ball upfield. It's cannoned off the outstretched leg of Michael Smith to bring in Maloney, who careered after the ball, just about kept it in play. Tries to evade the attentions of Lafferty, who has a couple of digs at his leg. He's unlucky there that Maloney's not gone down, really. All credit to him, but he's got a throw in.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Andy. I think if he had gone down, he'd have got the free kick. Looked a little bit wild from Lafferty, and to be fair, he's not really a player like that, is he?
No.
He makes good challenges. He gives himself a nice bit of space on this left-hand side, and he gives the team nice balance, but I wouldn't put him down for that kind of tackling.
Well, here's Richards on halfway for Northampton. West Ham 1, Swansea 0, so a big goal, well, for the Swans at least, at the bottom of the table, as Northampton toss it long. Michael Smith's after it, 50-50 challenge with Simon Moore, and Moore awkwardly gets the ball, almost jumping over the top of Michael Smith to get the ball. It was a little awkward in the end, and it remains 0-0, and we're about to find out how much added time we will have at the end of the first half here. Just a minute. But Moore gratefully gathers the ball up, looping it high into the crisp blue afternoon sky. The ball's flicked on by Clark into O'Shea. Out it goes to Clark here. Sheffield United piling forward, and now Carruthers. Slip back to Clark here at the byline. He stands up the cross. Lafferty's underneath it. So too is a Northampton defender, and they're able to clear. There was an important header from Maloney at the near post. Lafferty couldn't fashion the chance. Northampton looked to clear. Jake Wright sticks his head in where it hurts, but it's not enough. And Richards and Smith combine. Here's Mark Richards! This isn't in the script. Mark Richards fires the ball across Simon Moore, straight into the top left-hand corner. And Sheffield United, desperate for victory today, are trailing at Sixfields as we head towards added time. As things stand, they'd still be promoted, but it's not exactly finishing with a flourish. It's Northampton 1, Sheffield United 0.
Well, no complaints with the goal. We're a little bit hesitant in getting rid of the ball. That's not like our back three, but every now and then you get caught out. I think we did everything right in the sense that we've pushed him wide, and I didn't fancy his angle, but he's actually drilled it right in the spot that it was only where it was going to go in if he knocked it into that top right-hand corner, and he has done so. I put it down to a really cracking goal than a defensive error.
So Sheffield United, if they're to turn this defeat into a victory, will have their work cut out in the second half. There can't be more than a few seconds of time remaining at the end of the first half here. Oldham are leading, so Sheffield United only need to match Fleetwood's result today, and they're both losing as the referee calls half-time here. Goal that will make automatic promotion more of a certainty. As things stand, they would still be promoted today. Keep bashing on about that, but they'll want to do it with a win.
I was just going to say, we don't want to do it with a loss. Well, that will be a little bit of an anti-climax, but there you go. It's promotion is promotion, and that's it. It's as soon as it's done that, and that's better, then you can focus on other things. Well,
7,425 in attendance here at Sixfields today, with 1,456 from Sheffield, and probably about 50 more on the mound up there. Thank you for that, by the way. We're just taking a piece of paper that is no use to you, but well done anyway.
Well, he's a Sheffield United man, so he was just helping us out, wasn't he? But he found it amusing, didn't he?
So Basham on the volley launches it upfield. Sheffield United in this second half playing from left to right in their black shirts, orange shorts and orange socks, and Billy Sharp straight after it. And just with a little nudge, he takes out Brendan Maloney, so it will be a free kick to Northampton on the far side of the field. Obviously, we'll keep you fully up to date on Oldham Fleetwood. Oldham are leading. So good news for Sheffield United, but they need to help themselves.
Said it was a difficult place to go to, that Oldham. that pitch really does play in their favour, doesn't it?
Well, if it's still like the beach, goodness me.
Trust me, it will be.
It will be. Well, John Sheridan will do everything in his power to scrap a victory there for Oldham. They, of course, still need victories. As the ball will be flicked on the edge of the Blades box by Michael Smith. Coolly and calmly shepherded away before Fleck breaks a tackle from Anderson and continues to maraud forward across halfway. He's got Lafferty out to his left-hand side. Fleck rolls the ball on, but Maloney telegraphed the pass really and intercepted, and now Northampton look to counter-attack here. Anderson across halfway will turn and check his run, didn't fancy taking on Coots, and it's pushed back by Xander Diamond to the goalkeeper Adam Smith, who quickly launched it across halfway. Too high for Mark Richards, whose goal separates the two sides and easily dealt with by Jake Wright, but Northampton come again. Anderson with the crossfield ball to Buchanan. Ball rolled upfield now into Williams. Quickly with a shift of the feet, he evades the challenge from O'Shea. Blocked off by Coots. He goes back to teammate Anderson, who spreads play to this near side, and Buchanan. It is 1-0 to Northampton here, and Buchanan turned into the tackle. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield, and now Anderson orchestrating on the left-hand side. Square ball infield to Richards. Telling an important interception from Fleck. Took it away from Richards' toe end as he looks to shoot, and it's cleared upfield, and Billy Sharp having a real tussle with Lewin Nyatanga. Surely he dragged him back. It's a throw in. It should be a free kick.
Yeah, Billy does that well actually. Uses his body well, gets into players, makes it very difficult for him, leads the line well.
So Freeman into Sharp from the throw-in. Sharp tries to beat the challenge of Xander Diamond. Sharp scrapping for it while still on the floor, but Northampton come up with it. Sharp's complaining he should have had a free kick then as well. Arms out wide, fearsomely shouting at the referee. Sheffield United will not get the throw-in. Northampton will on this near side. So Northampton 1, Sheffield United 0. As drinks are taken here by Buchanan. Sheffield United wanting to get a move on with the throw-in. It's still in their favour. And now here's Basham. On the half volley, sends it forward. Returned with interest by Diamond, and then Coots with a little flick on here. Sharp trying to turn Nyatanga, but he just got there first and will loop the ball out of play for a Blades throw-in, and the travelling support behind the goal has a ripple of applause trying to urge their team on here. They'll want to see an equaliser as well. Here's Freeman trying to bend in the cross. The ball ricochets off O'Toole and out of play. It's nudged by Buchanan. He didn't mean that, so Sheffield United have a corner in front of the travelling support.
Well, it gives us a little bit of a lift, doesn't it, especially going towards that way. I'm pleased for the lads on the hill now, because if there is a goal, at least they'll see it, and we've got a good following behind them. So a good delivery is needed. See if we can start the second half well. So
cries of United as Fleck bends in this corner. O'Connell goes for it. Cries of handball. O'Connell's trying to press the ball. O'Connell off the post. Wright's going for it. 50-50 challenge, and it's cleared away by Buchanan. Sheffield United looking to force an equaliser there at the back stick, but for some last-ditch defending they would have had that equaliser. A little slip by Coots, but he's somehow still managed to get the ball to O'Connell. Here's O'Connell driving to the byline. He turns over the ball, trying to jockey for position with Taylor. Now O'Shea, right-footed, Collar! Over the angle of crossbar and post by some distance into the away end.
Yeah, it keeps being a bit of a threat, O'Toole, doesn't he? O'Shea, I should say, sorry. He receives the ball on the edge of the box. He's always looking for a shot, nothing else in his mind. I quite like that about him.
So Manchester City are now leading Hull City by 2-0 in the Premier League. We've had 5.5 minutes of this second half here at Sixfields. You'll see the scorelines. Sheffield United would still be promoted automatically today, but they'd want to do it with a win. Oldham are leading Fleetwood by 1-0, so it may well not matter. Here's Basham, driven long. Too long for Clark, maybe, and Clark got some purchase on the ball, but the keeper Smith made the save. 50-50 challenge, both keeper and player had to go for it, and the keeper came up with the ball just as Lewin Nyatanga dawdled and hesitated. Leon Clark's protesting his innocence to the player. The referee's telling them both to get on with it, as well he should. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the keeper's complaining about.
Yeah, it was there to be won, wasn't it? It just held up. That's the reason why Clark went for it. Keeper must be really badly hurt because he's just volleyed it out back 100 yards. They do. I don't know at times who they try and kid.
And O'Shea.
And that's a ball that you had to go for. Referee, I think, has recognised that as well. Everybody's up in arms making a big fuss of it. To be fair to the Northampton players, they're not doing too bad actually. I don't think this is a ball that you have to go for, and you've just turned into him. Both players gone for it. One comes out badly. That doesn't mean it's a foul.
Nope.
Or a booking.
Jay O'Shea is being given a
referee.
talking to, and nothing more.
And well done to the Northampton player. Both shook hands. I like to see that. It should be happening more often. That I think, like the goalkeeper's just done there, make too much of it.
Well, here is a free kick for Northampton. Former Premier League quality and Matt Taylor stand over the ball, and another change has been made by Chris Wilder. James Hansen is coming on, and Jay O'Shea is coming off. So Jay O'Shea's done his bit today, and James Hansen comes on, like so often, to add something a little bit different up there.
Yeah. 7 minutes into the second half, and he makes a substitution. You tend to think,
and it's his second.
You should have done that earlier on. But there you go.
Here's Taylor's free kick then, tossed high to the edge of the box. Basham got a flick on, it will drift behind for a corner to Northampton. They're one up here, 52 gone, and the Blades are defending this corner away to our left-hand side. The North Stand end here, and Taylor will walk slowly across to take it. Well, he's 35 now.
Meaning that is that why he's walked over slowly?
Yeah, possibly, unless he's just dawdling on time. Hey, I'm tired as well, I'm older than him. In it goes in at the near post by the defender at the near post. So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. And it goes behind for another corner. A corner which will be taken on this near side. If I can just send a message back to the studio, if you can change my cue back to clean feed, I won't be hearing myself in my ears, thank you. Here's Taylor, in it goes, into the near post, and it's dealt with by Basham. Here's Sharp getting the clearance clear, and out of play it goes. So 1-0 to Northampton. It's Sheffield United fans who are making the noise here, and Buchanan has it. Buchanan looking left and right for the throw-in, then goes up the line. Freeman's cushion header is away. The ball will ricochet kindly for Williams here, and then secondly kindly for Fleck, who with a block challenge forces Northampton almost to halfway. Fleck's challenge is a little late, just caught him with his studs, although I do think a meal has been made of that a little by Taylor, and the referee's probably just going to have another word.
And you know what Fleck does well? First thing he does, puts his hands up, always shakes the hands of the player that he's fouled, and always has a little chat with the referee.
After the event.
Yeah, does it quite well. I don't can't fault the lad. That's what it's there for. You know, no point in getting silly bookings.
The free kick has been prepared here very briefly. Proac Stadium, Matt Shaw.
Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0. 17-year-old Joe Rowley with the goal. He signed a professional contract early this week. He celebrated it with a goal. It was Christian Dennis' shot from the left edge. It was saved by the keeper, straight into the path of Rowley, who tapped in unmarked. Minutes earlier, Forston Stuckman had provided a wonderful save to keep Port Vale at bay. But now it's Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0.
Smith with the cross into the box, right stooping to get the header clear, and it's dealt with. Now Smith on the far side will keep it in play. That's Michael Smith of Northampton. Now here's Taylor. Taylor rolling it wide to the far side. Maloney, the right full-back, is forward here. Skirts in past the challenge, shoots low. It's cannoned off the legs of a Blades player. Lafferty on the edge of the box, and it goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, they're coming into it, Northampton, aren't they? They've been encouraged. Good supporters get right behind them. To be fair, they're seeing this as they don't usually have this many people in the stadium. They're seeing this as a big game, and we recognise that they need a win to make sure they're safe. But Sheffield United need to just pick up the pace a little bit.
So Taylor's gone across to take the corner from the far side. Taylor, left-footed, deep into the box, too deep through the 18-yard box. It hit nobody and dropped behind for a goal kick. So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. To Ewood Park we go. Tom Bilcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2. Owners completely on the host. They're getting increasingly desperate. Brought Danny Graham on at half-time. He lasted 7 minutes before limping off. Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2.
And we heard about Chesterfield a short while ago. What about Wigan-Rotherham, Mike Minay?
Wigan 1, Rotherham 1. Absolutely no action at all in this second half so far. Only thing of note, Max Powers off. Former Barnsley man Sam Morsey is on for the home side. Wigan 1, Rotherham 1.
Freeman intercepts, knocks it past the challenge of Buchanan and is fouled in the process, so the Blades get a free kick of their own at the moment. Coots wanted to take it quicker than Williams was prepared to let him, so Northampton with the delaying tactics already, and we are 56 minutes into the game. So free kick Blades. Basham stands over the free kick just in front of a pointing Justin Edinburgh, and it's swept sandwich-like to the edge of the penalty box here. It's allowed to bounce as a poor free kick. It's spliced in between Hansen and Lafferty. In comes a cross into the box. Clark's there, goes through, and it's punched clear by the goalkeeper Smith, and now the break is on down this near side. Williams will carry Northampton forward. Still going Williams as he crosses halfway, needs some support, doesn't have it, still has the ball at his feet, and Taylor will bend it down the touchline, and it should be intercepted here by Basham. Indeed it is. A second turn from him, and it's whipped back into Northampton territory. Oldham 2, Fleetwood 0, so things going Sheffield United's way, even though they're not helping themselves. Great win for Oldham if they can pull it off. Great win for Sheffield United if they need it, as the clock ticks on here. 57 minutes gone, Northampton leading by 1-0. So, Fleck, on it goes to Sharp, and just tried to hit a first-time pass out wide to Freeman, didn't make contact. Here's Maloney, forward it goes to Williams. Williams forcing right back to the edge of the box. In it goes, low trajectory, more by Matida. Here for Anderson, referee had a look, he went down, shook his head, no penalty. And O'Connell has the ball at his feet. And Sheffield United living a little dangerously, Keith Edwards.
Well, yes, it was a good ball in, but I think the referee has made some very good decisions. I'm not saying that because one or two of them have been in our favour, but I think they've been absolutely spot on and been fairly brave decisions as well.
Well, Chris Wilder is agitated and angry down in the technical area there. He wants Sheffield United to rediscover their composure as the ball is pushed to the edge of the box. Wright will shepherd the ball clear to the far side. It's brought back to Lafferty, who will curl it up towards halfway. Xander Diamond's powerful header drops into the path of John Joe O'Toole. He's 30 yards away from the Blades goal. Out to the right it goes, and Anderson's cross is awful. Too high, drops behind. Well, this is not the dream scenario Sheffield United were hoping for. The champagne, though, is still on ice.
Well, I was going to say it's not too bad, is it? Oldham are doing us a favour. We just want to get this out the way and then concentrate on winning the league.
Bolton is still losing, so
that's a blessing, but that's it's like I say, sometimes it's you've got to respect that it's a long season, and sometimes it's as the season goes on, it's harder to get your players up for it. And I'm not saying we're not up for it. The performance is not up to scratch, but it's still a fair performance. I think you've also got to give some credit to the opposition as well. I think they've worked hard, they're fighting for their lives, and it was a great goal. But somewhere on the lines, it just tells me that we'll get something out of it. I think that's how we've been of late.
So throw in Northampton. The Blades, though, will quickly get it back, and it's with Basham. Blades in black playing from left to right, and the ball is at the feet of Hansen, a second half substitute. In comes Fleck, and he drills it out wide to the right hand side. Another lovely John Fleck ball up to Sharp on the edge of the box. He shoots, it's pinballed off two defenders. Northampton will get it clear. Now Fleck, long way out, takes aim, and in the end it just sat up for the keeper, who made a comfortable save. It was virtually straight at him.
Yeah, it was ambitious, wasn't it?
Goal at the DW Stadium, Mike Minay.
And a surprising 1-2, Wigan Athletic 1, Rotherham United 2. Anthony Ford's long-range shot spilt by goalkeeper Jacob Haugaard into his own net. I thought he should have saved it comfortably. It is Wigan 1, Rotherham 2.
Well, every little helps for Rotherham United, and now Fleck rolled along the deck, and Clark's onside here, bearing down on goal. Leon Clark smashes in the equaliser. Leon Clark drags Sheffield United level at Northampton, and the automatic promotion dream is back on. Delirium at Sixfields. It's Northampton 1, Blades 1.
Yeah, well, I'm just a little bit disappointed. All the crowd have come on. ridiculous situation. I think, as I was saying earlier on, there's always a goal in us somewhere on the lines, and Clark stuck that ever so well. So if we can just get these supporters off the pitch and we can carry on and don't spoil the day. It's as much as I love the supporters coming along, the players' day, and you don't want to spoil it by doing something ridiculous like this.
And I'll save it until the end. The supporters are quickly ushered back behind the goal by the police and the stewards here, but it's just unnecessary. There's an advertising hoarding that's been broken there. I think we know what's going to happen at full time, clearly, understandably. Let them have that moment, but it was too premature then.
It might be a good thing in the respect that they can sort that out now, and if the respect that they're going to come on, then let's get a line-up of police there and stop them from coming on. It's, you know, there's the wonderful thing about gaining promotion is to be able to actually be on that pitch and thank the fans. Not all the fans coming on it just spoils the occasion as such. But anyway, let's get off that. What a great finish from Clark. Great ball in. I thought it may have just been offside, but he's played that onside offside and he's just caught it. Great finish. Well done. Back to 1-1. Things going our way again.
And then Michael Smith takes out Jack O'Connell on the far side, foot high. Just caught the defender, and it will be a free kick to the Blades. So O'Connell gets up, he's okay, but hobbling. And Simon Moore will come across to take it. So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Simon Moore just digging his studs into the turf out on the far side. Preparing to take this free kick. We've had 17 second half minutes.
I think there's no two ways about it. Just going back to the Clark. Nice finisher. Other side of his game, you know, this is the reason why Hansen come in, but then you look at the likes of Clark and his finishing is possibly that little bit better.
Now here's Coots again. Blades looking for more as the ball is shepherded behind by Xander Diamond.
It'd be nice to finish well. You know something, more than anything, who do we put this? You put the promotion down to the players because they've got to graft in, week out, but wouldn't it be nice for Chris to be actually to do it on his old stadium, who's done it for him? Be a lovely day for them.
So it's another Blades corner. Coots with the stuttering run-up. He's not allowed to take it just yet. The referee spotted something. Jack O'Connell and John Joe O'Toole possibly had a coming together. I wonder if they were the two that came together on the far side. Certainly O'Connell bore the brunt of the challenge. So Blades corner, 1-1 here at Sixfields, and it's knocked off the keeper's chest. He didn't know anything about it. Northampton clear the ball away.
Yeah, could have been 2-1. Good spell for Sheffield United.
Could have been 2-1. Flex looking to try and make it 2-1. Gliding to the edge of the box. Billy Sharp now. In goes the cross. Fed behind by Taylor. Sheffield United have woken up here.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? And good ball in from Sharp. That's the difference between midfield players and strikers. You knew Sharp was going to put that ball straight into the box.
Now Coots from the corner, edge of the box, smashes it in low, and it's volleyed away, possibly off James Hansen. I'm not entirely sure who got the final touch there.
I think it was.
Northampton get the ball clear. Lafferty's forced to backtrack. A header back to Simon Moore. All danger averted, but Paul Anderson did make quite a spirited run through the middle of the park. So the Blades fans in full voice on the L shape, if you like, and it's cleared upfield. Hansen loses out in the air. Anderson gets it back here. It's 1-1 here. There's been more goals at the DW Stadium, Mike Minor.
And again, Rotherham can't hold on to their lead. Wigan 2, Rotherham 2, this time from the breakaway after relentless Rotherham pressure. Obertan picked it up on the left-hand side, squared it to Alex Gilby, who was in plenty of space on his own in the centre of the field, and he slotted it past Lewis Price. It's Wigan 2, Rotherham 2.
Coots and Fleck combining in the middle of the park here with the scoreline locked at 1-1. Sheffield United are going up as things stand. Oldham are leading Fleetwood 2-0. It's 1-1 here. The Blades have just equalised. Bury 0, Bradford 1, which colours the playoff picture and influences things at the bottom end of the table as well. That might be a scoreline that, well, Chesterfield are winning, so it may be a situation where they have a stay of execution in any case. So Northampton have a free kick here. When they've done that, we'll check on Blackburn and Chesterfield's progress, or Barnsley and Chesterfield's progress. So free kick Northampton, attacking the north stand end away to our left-hand side. And Taylor stands over this free kick. A couple of paces back, he's a long way out, 35 yards, possibly a little more. Sheffield United have a two-man wall. Well, Matt Taylor made his name with long-range left-footed strikes. Up he pops again, and this one's cannoned off the front end of the stand. So not great then.
Quite ambitious that, wasn't it? From that kind of distance. He's obviously been encouraged to shoot, but that's an awful long way out.
So 1-1 here, Sheffield United heading for promotion. And heading for promotion today. Let's see how Blackburn and Barnsley are getting on. Tom Biltcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2 after those two early goals for the Reds. Ryan Kent killed an effort wide as they tried to rubber stamp a long-awaited win. Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2.
Well, there's unfortunately seemingly a little bit of trouble in the stand away to our right-hand side. The police have waded in trying to sort it out. Play continues here. Lafferty into the box, shot with his back to goal. Out it goes to the far touchline, and O'Connell slips it back to Coots. He brings it onto his right boot, will turn, looking to the left again, still trying to inch his way forward. O'Connell bends in the cross, high, too high, and behind it goes. Proac Stadium, here's Matt Shaw.
Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0. Dan Garner just had a speculative long-range 25-yard effort go over the bar. Ry Simons caught Port Vale on the counter too, but his shot was blocked. Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0.
So 1-1 here, 67 minutes of the game played. Automatic promotion pending. Sheffield United on the brink. So goal kick, which Adam Smith will take. Driven long upfield from right to left. Basham's underneath it, but so too Matt Smith, and it's pushed clear. Here's Coots, midway through his own half. Carrying the ball forward into the centre circle, he then releases Fleck. Fleck's first touch is a heavy one, but he still manages to keep the ball. Into the box it goes, Billy Sharp! Saved by a diving goalkeeper. Had to hit it first time Sharp, past the defender, but the keeper was already out making the save. It's gone away for a corner.
Nice progressive football, wasn't it? All on the floor, 3 or 4 passes, all of a sudden straight into their box. And what Sharp's run, timed it perfectly. Great ball from Fleck. He's turned and hit it. You could see his frustration in there after his keeper saved it. Needs that goal.
In comes the corner, into the box, and it's punched over by the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, he's done well there, the goalkeeper, and to be honest, Paul Coots.
Good corner, to be fair. He's knocked it in. The keeper's actually knocked it over.
But the referee's not seen it.
Behind his goal, so Northampton making a couple of substitutes.
Yeah, Alex Ravel, and he's preparing to come on.
He's not
Williams
bad,
too.
He's not bad, Ravel. I thought he played well. He's the ex-Rotherham player.
Yeah, ex-Rotherham was a major player in their quest to win automatic promotion themselves. Here's Alex Ravel. Well, McWilliams is coming on first. And another substitution's about to be made too as well. So Paul Anderson on the far side, McWilliams is coming on for him. Alex Ravel's coming on too as well, and Michael Smith is making way.
Well, I think they'll have to throw people forward now, won't they? They'll be looking at it and thinking, well, you know, we need a win to make sure. And they're going for it. And if you look at the likes of Clark, Hansen and Sharp up front for us, should be a nice open game of football now. Yeah,
final 20 minutes here at Sixfields, 1-1. It would be a point that would see Sheffield United to automatic promotion, because Oldham are beating Fleetwood by 2-0. Here's Buchanan, the left full-back on this near side, taking on Freeman. Freeman manages to nudge the ball out of play for a throw-in. Buchanan wants to take it quickly. He looks to his left, sees Taylor's not really an option. John Joe O'Toole drops into play to claim it. Off he goes, beats the first challenge, but not the challenge from Freeman. Then Coots gets in, loses out, and now McWilliams. Coots gets back to his feet, wins it back, and Sharp's away here. Sharp rolling the ball into the legs of Fleck. Fleck and Hansen not communicating in the middle third there. Fleck gets it eventually, but a little momentum is slightly lost here. Hansen's made a continued run forward away down the left-hand side. Here he is. Up comes the cross. Clark is there, punched away by the keeper. Only as far as Coots. Coots looks up, rolls it square to Freeman. Freeman's first time pass brings in Basham. Basham out wide to Freeman again. 3 await the cross in the middle, and none of them will get there. Lafferty at the back stick, pulled in now maybe for Hansen. Northampton react quickly, and Xander Diamond feeds the ball away. Now Mark Richards picking up the loose ball, shielding it away from O'Connell, and Williams is able to make a run through the middle. His ball to McWilliams takes a big deflection off Coots. Basham gets it back, and the Blades have it back, and Freeman will spin it clear down this near side. Clark makes a forlorn jump to try and turn the ball away from Lewin Nyatanga into John Joe O'Toole. The midfielder plays it back to Xander Diamond, and away it goes. Stoke 1, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. Liverpool equalising, and 1-1 it remains here. Here's Basham turning over the ball. Into the stands he sends that ball, and it will be a throw into Northampton Town, just in front of Ethan Ebanks-Landell, who's warming up, and wittingly gets in the way there, just delaying the taking of this throw-in. So Buchanan will come forward to take it here, former Preston man, down by the corner flag. It's dabbed back out wide by Ravel, in from Buchanan. The cross takes a deflection. It's another corner Sheffield United have to defend.
Yeah, we've had an awful lot of possession. Last 10 or 15 minutes is going good for Sheffield United. Northampton are now coming back into it. We've got a corner kick. We've got plenty of height when you consider the likes of Hansen and Clark are on there as well. So hopefully we can get this away. Just it's not a case of clinging on.
17 minutes of time to go. In it goes. Liverpool now lead Stoke 2-1. And a free kick for offside.
Yeah, well, that ball's gone straight out and come back in, I think. But yeah, so that's okay. Back to normal now. We can just reshuffle our pack and get organised. We've got 3 up front. Sharp's just dropped in behind them too, but he's invariably pushing on as far forward as he can.
So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. We're at Sixfields, it's 1-1. Crucially at Boundary Park, Oldham are leading Fleetwood by 2-0. So Sheffield United are heading for promotion today. Here's Hansen losing out in an aerial duel. Freeman wins the header, takes the knock, and Buchanan knocks the ball out of play from Coots, just in front of Chris Wilder. Here's Freeman looking to take that throw in just in front of his boss, former Northampton boss, of course, still a hero in these parts. Double promotion pending for Chris Wilder. Here's Sharp, takes the ball away from the toe end of Taylor. Sharp goes square, out to Lafferty. Sharp wants the cross in the box, in it goes. Clark's header, looped over the roof of the net and behind.
Well, that was quite disappointing, because that's a great ball in from Lafferty. That's what I want him to do more often, get some good service in from that left-hand side. For me, that header should have just been pulled back into the 6-yard box, and 1 or 2 others would have benefited from it. He made the wrong choice for me.
Incidentally, commentary coming later as Sheffield Wednesday against Newcastle United. Hooper and Fletcher start up front for Wednesday today. Jordan Rhodes is on the bench. So goalkeeper Smith has the ball for Northampton here at the Sheffield United end. Driven upfield from right to left over the head of Basham. Mark Richards is beaten to it by Kieran Freeman. The ball is challenged for in the centre circle, and Maloney comes up with it. Knocked off his stride by Fleck. Maloney still forward in the centre circle and is able to scamper to this near side. Maloney. Doncaster Rovers are leading Mansfield by 1-0, so that will mean automatic promotion for them. Tommy Rowe, scorer of the goal. Here's McWilliams. Back it comes now to Nyatanga, whose pass is short. Clark's after it, but the keeper gets there. And now Wright. Downward header out to the far side. It's a little challenge on Lafferty, but he keeps the ball, and now Fleck into the centre circle it goes, and Coots Game being played almost in third gear here, but Sheffield United can move through them. They've equalised here. Mark Richards opened the scoring. Leon Clark smashed in an equaliser. The result might not matter at all if Oldham continue to prosper against Fleetwood. And here it comes. Hansen down the line to Lafferty. Lafferty at the byline, standing up the cross. Sharp waiting to pounce, but Zander Diamond beat him to it. And Northampton will get the ball clear, but Fleck puts a block challenge in and keeps it in play. It won't be a throw-in. He's at the byline now. They're queuing up. Sharp made the final touch, and it goes behind. All eyes on the referee. He says corner.
Yep, well, that's good play from Fleck. He's persevered down that left-hand side, won a great ball, and has been quick enough to actually keep the ball in. Hard and low across the 6-yard box. Defender just knocks it out. So pressure's still on. Good spell for Sheffield United,
who are locked at 1-1. Will be around the grounds in a few moments' time. So Coots preparing to take the corner from the left. Dinked along the floor to Fleck. Fleck beats his man into the box, strikes it! Saved by the legs of the keeper. Out it comes to Coots, and it was always veering away from goal. He had to hit it awkwardly. It sat up unkindly for him.
Yeah, well, that's it was a difficult one for Coots, but Fleck's certainly hungry for goals, having had that spectacular one in midweek. Playing well now.
Blackburn, Barnsley, Tom Biltcliffe.
Blackburn 0, Barnsley 2. Blackburn have thrown caution to the wind, but the Reds' rearguard have stood firm. They've brought on Tom Bradshaw to catch the hose on the break, but it remains 2-0 to the visitors.
Awkward bouncing ball dealt with by Jake Wright, not once but twice, and Kieran Freeman on this near side, the right, will get it clear. DW Stadium, Mike Miney.
Still 2-2 in this game between Wigan and Rotherham. It's very open and both sides really going for it. Danny Ward's missed a header from about 12 yards out or so. The goalkeeper had to send round the post, but it is still Wigan 2, Rotherham 2.
Proac Stadium, Matt Shaw.
Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0. The visitors building some pressure, but overall Chesterfield looking comfortable here. 13 minutes to go. Chesterfield 1, Port Vale 0.
Well, O'Connell gratefully receives the ball from Williams down the far side. He'd originally conceded possession, and then Williams gave it back to him. So 1-1 here. Out it goes from Maloney to Williams, who bends in the cross. A jumping John Fleck, and it appeared to. Well, the referee's given a free kick out there. And John Fleck will get a yellow card.
Well,
I mean, it looked like ball to hand from here.
It's a bit harsh, but I think he's got away with one or two before that. So I think he's tested the patience of the referee for long enough.
So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Final 12 minutes. If things stay the same, Sheffield United will gain automatic promotion today. It's 1-1 here, and Oldham are beating Fleetwood. But Northampton currently have a free kick. Taylor stands over the ball. So Taylor from the right-hand side bends it in at the near post, sent away by Lafferty, and now Maloney's following up. Maloney turning over the ball. Back it comes now to Taylor. Taylor trying to orchestrate something from the right on his left boot. Clark blocks it, and out of play it goes. So Northampton kept at arm's length here, and we have 11 minutes of normal time to go. Sheffield United counting down to automatic promotion. Northampton feel they're on for a decent point, and it would be. Take them a step close to mathematical safety. Rolled upfield now into Richards. Now Alex Ravel keeps it moving to Buchanan. Turns away from the challenge of Hansen on this near side. And back it goes to Lewin Nyatanga. Now Nyatanga again. The ball's rolled across halfway into the path of McWilliams. McWilliams and Buchanan interchanging passes, but the move breaks down and Leon Clark's upfield. He shoved the defender, and it was quite obvious. Referee had to give a free kick. Clark saying no, it wasn't, but everybody thought that he shoved him.
Well, could have been. Years ago, it was shoulder to shoulder. I just took myself back a few years and thought he was clean through there for a minute. He's not done bad, Clark. He's one of them players that I really can't make my mind up about, because I think he's a good natural finisher. The other part of his game is I'm never quite sure about. So but he's done well today.
Well, Luke Williams is now coming off, and he's been replaced by a centre-half, Rod McDonald. So Justin Edinburgh looking to try and protect that point.
I'm quite happy with that. I don't think Northampton deserve to lose this game personally. I think they've battled hard and contended with us in some respects, matched us in some areas. Have we been at our best? Not quite, but we've once again we seem to be doing enough.
Well, a change here too. Leon Clark's coming off, so Chris Wilder doing the same thing. Yeah,
that's well, maybe aware of other scores, and we wouldn't want to lose this game today with a little bit of a sour taste, wouldn't it? And let's try and do it right.
Ethan Ebanks-Landell then is stepping into the fray. So, football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. We are at Sixfields, and the clock ticks, down to automatic promotion. Under 10 minutes to go. Ball tossed long to the edge of the box. It's up off the head of Jack O'Connell, and now Danny Lafferty feeds it clear. Hansen battling for the ball. The ball will roll back into the Blades 18-yard box, but there's no danger it won't be cleared by O'Connell. And now it's volleyed back upfield by Xander Diamond, and O'Connell with the headed clearance, and stooping John Fleck gets it out to the far side, where Lafferty will try and just bend one forward to James Hansen. And here's O'Toole, and O'Toole wriggles away from the attentions of Fleck here. Fleck into the middle of the park, and McWilliams out it comes to this near side, and the defender McDonald, the latest substitute, and he's given the ball away. Billy Sharp will be desperate to score the winner here. Surely he's having his arm dragged back by McWilliams. He is.
Yeah, that's good play from Sharp, as I mentioned earlier. He uses his body well. Didn't have the pace to get past him, but that was just based on the fact that the Northampton player was pulling him back all the time. So gives us a good opportunity to keep the ball and run time down, or if we can get forward, then that's great.
37 minutes of the game played. Sharp with his back to the defender. It's left now for Freeman, a little isolated by the corner flag, but attacking towards a travelling Blade support. Here's Coots and Freeman interchanging passes. Freeman tries to give Buchanan the slip. The ball will cannon off Buchanan into Freeman's face, and it will allow McDonald the opportunity to clear to halfway. Ethan Ebanks-Landell mistiming his jump, but Basham and Wright are able to clear. Now Hansen's header out wide, looking for the runner Lafferty, but Maloney knew what he was doing, and Wright back through Richards, and the keeper Moore makes the save.
Yeah, always looks dangerous, that, doesn't it, because the player's bearing down on him, but I think Sheffield United back three had it firmly under control.
So, football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. So we will be taking your calls on full time here. So 0114279 6699 Blades fans, react to what will be automatic promotion for Sheffield United today. Likewise, any Doncaster Rovers fans listening too, we want to hear from you. We'll bring you as much reaction as we possibly can from Sixfields and from the Keepmoat Stadium as well. And we'll start off proceedings, unless there's a dramatic change, on medium wave and digital radio for Wednesday Newcastle. Here's Revell turning away from the corner flag and evading Jake Wright. Infield it goes now to Matt Taylor. On his left boot, he keeps it moving out towards Buchanan on this near side. Buchanan, back it goes to McDonald. Ball lumped to the edge of the box. Diving headed clearance by the defender back there, O'Connell. Now Xander Diamond. Out to the far side, fullbacks forward. Maloney's the right fullback on the far side. It's kept in moving by O'Toole, and he's given the ball away. Hansen backtracking. It's played out wide to the right-hand side. Now Coots rolling his studs over the ball, evades McWilliams, and now Ethan Ebanks-Landell. Well, Sheffield United here won't care a jot that this game is meandering down, because the prize awaits in 5 minutes' time.
Whenever you've got players like Coots, he's always available to receive the ball. You play at different paces of the game. He's obviously at this moment in time, it's a nice slow pace for us. We're controlling the ball, keeping it, not going anywhere with it, but Coots is always available to do that and control the pace of the game.
So, Sheffield United fans in full voice here at Sixfields. Promotion's coming. Quite a day for Sheffield United. Can they seal automatic promotion with a win? And out of play it goes. The challenge a little late on Fleck from O'Toole, but the Blades will get the throw in. A throw in which Lafferty will take. Looped up into the sunshine down the far side. Here, a stooping Billy Sharp gets the ball into Hansen. Trying to make headway just outside the box, but there's plenty back in claret and white, and they get the ball away into Ethan Ebanks-Landell. The big defender at the second attempt pumps it forward. Sharp's underneath it. Nyatanga's cushion header drops into the path of McDonald, and Northampton play their way out of trouble here. 15 yards short of halfway, Buchanan turns over the ball and away from Coots. Now to Taylor, toss long. Ethan Ebanks-Landell brings it under control, pushing the pass into midfield. Fleck. Back to Basham. Basham, nobody. Well, Fleck will turn. Out it comes to Sharp. And Coots again. Is there one more opportunity in this game? 3 minutes of normal time to go. Fleck has it. Ball manoeuvred to the left-hand side. Sheffield United fans just waiting to explode in celebration behind the goal. Back it comes now to Fleck. Infield now to Basham. Taking possession on the left-hand side. Still going Chris Basham. Weaves his way to the byline. Ball centred through the 6-yard box. Nobody in black had committed. And Northampton again will be able to get it clear, Keith.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Nobody committed to it, didn't they? Nobody actually wanted that winning goal. It's a great run from Basham. Well, we've seen that once or twice. Yeah, so just get somebody extra in the box and you win the game. But I think we just controlling the pace of this game and seeing time out.
So football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Freeman with it. Chris Wilder stood just next to him as he prepares to take the throw in, and upfield it goes towards Hansen. Hansen with the little flick on here. Now we know Billy Sharp will want to score. He stands up the ball. John Fleck controls it, beats his man, and it's in! Sheffield United with the dream finish to seal automatic promotion back to the Championship. Joy, elation, relief. The Blades are on the rise again, and they're going to seal victory here at Sixfields. It's Northampton 1, Sheffield United 2.
Well, Sheffield United have done it in style and looks like winning this game. And what a player to do it. Fleck's been outstanding for most of this season. Well done. Waited an awful long time for you to say that, Andy, and that's a great feeling. It's a performance. Overall, the season has been a wonderful season. There's been some fabulous performances, and today's just typified it. We can get goals from every area of the pitch.
Well, unfortunately, play is delayed. The fans are back on the pitch once again. There's a few fans that surrounded the Blades dugout, had to be ushered away by the stewards down there. Well, Sheffield United fans won't have to wait presumably more than about 4 minutes, and they'll be allowed onto the pitch anyway, it seems.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think,
Oh, are there enough stewards out there to stop?
Yeah, I would like to think so. I think they can try and sort that out, because I know it's great for them, and they're excited, and it's a full day and the sun's shining. But what I'm trying to say is, players love to be able to get on that pitch and just be able to thank the supporters and thank everybody for it. And while ever they're charging on, it's just chaos, and your players can't do that. And it would just be so much wiser for them to just stay where they are, so the players can actually come to them, and Chris and Alan can come and say thanks very much. And the ones on the top of the hill are enjoying it because they got it right, didn't they?
Yeah,
they didn't have to pay to get it, and they've seen the goals. So well done to them guys. Good choice.
I will say you're probably going to know who's been on top of the hill on Monday, because their faces will be ashen red out there. It must be sweltering.
Yeah. And as always, we're in the shade.
We're in the shade, a little cold as it happens. So the Blades fans are now ushered back behind the goal. We have had time by my stopwatch, but clearly there will be 5 minutes, well, sometime 5 minutes of added time placed on it by the referee. Play is moving once again. Sheffield United have sealed automatic promotion. We'll be taking your calls. 0114279 6699. They look as though they're going to have sealed it with yet another away win. It will be the Blades' 11th away league win of the season. They've been super on their travels. Yeah. 40 points taken on the road. A joint best tally along with Bolton. They're up there as well.
Yeah,
but nobody's going to catch Sheffield United this season.
It's a big achievement, that is, to do it away from home as well. And I'm just playing around with my feet down here.
Whatever you do, there are plenty of cables down there. Don't breathe or do anything.
No, that's all right. The guys behind me are shouting at us, but no, that's it's a fabulous occasion. A great achievement away from home has been stunning, and we've also seen some brilliant performances at home. So yeah, all in all, certain individuals have played extremely well. I think the lad who's just scored the goal, of Fleck, has been outstanding. There's an awful lot of players we can mention, and given time we will do.
Well, Sheffield United moved 9 points clear, and Hansen's battling for the ball. In fact, he's won it back away from McDonald on the edge of the box. Excellent strength from the big man. Played back into the middle of the park, and Fleck, whose goal has ultimately settled it. Coots out wide to Freeman. Be nice if Billy Sharp could score. Here's Freeman beating his man. Freeman with a little stumble, dragged to the deck, free kick right in front of the linesman. Had a perfect view of it.
Yeah, no problem there. Once again, Freeman. All these players I mentioned could. It's a nice thought. You often say, well, how have we got to promotion this season? When you consider you could mention 5 players for Player of the Year. And that's the reason why we've got promotion, and Freeman is definitely one of them, one of my favourites. He's done ever so well. Obviously you've got Sharp, Fleck, Coots, Basham, there's that many.
Freeman to Coots, free kick taken short, no real willingness to get the ball in. Then Sharp says he wants it, just outside the box, turning in field, battling to the byline, trying to squeeze it in, and Richards blocks, so it will be a corner.
You can see the pace of the Sheffield United players. They're all they're going for a nice slow pace, but Sharp's still going nice and quick.
Football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Unfortunately, 2 idiots have kicked off in the stand just beneath us, away to our left-hand side. I dare say everybody stood up here watching that fight unfold. Just sit down and watch the football. The stewards have waded in to sort that out. There is a temporary lull in play despite the 60 yards between incident and corner. A referee just having a word through his earpieces with the other officials around the ground here. It's only delaying the inevitable. Sheffield United's automatic promotion charge will be brought to an end shortly. Clock ticks. Goodness knows how long there's going to be now. Sheffield United will have a corner when play resumes in a few moments' time. Punches were thrown, though, down on the pitch side among supporters a few moments ago. Unnecessary, unneeded. Just enjoy the day. Whoever they support, we can't tell. They weren't in any colours. And the corner's taken, but Freeman now works his way into the penalty box. Ball side footed in, and in the end it will be pushed behind for another corner. But there seems to be a fairly loose agreement between the sets of players just to play football and eat down the clock whilst things continue. Chris Wilder and Justin Edinburgh have just had a shake of the hands. Congratulations from Justin Edinburgh for Chris Wilder. He's about to achieve his 2nd promotion in as many years with 2 different clubs. As the ball goes out of play deep inside the far corner here. Well, Sheffield United have done their bit. In the end, they've not needed any help. As it happened, they've certainly got it from Oldham Athletic today. The Blades now have a throw-in, inches up from the corner flag. Back it comes for Freeman, into the feet of Sharp. Northampton are looking to try and clear it. They have. Into Taylor. Things open up here. And it's tossed through the middle of the park where Wright brings it under control. And now Basham. 10 yards short of the centre circle. Ball played out towards the far side. Billy Sharp will try and get there, but he won't be able to. Basham stoops onto the ball, turned across halfway. Lovely turn from Basham to bring in Sharp. He's away, driving to the edge of the box. He will turn, be blocked off by the midfielder McWilliams. Sharp by the corner flag, and it's there! Sheffield United are on the rise again. Back to the Championship after a 6-year absence. The fans parade onto the pitch. They've waited what will seem like an age for a moment like this. Sheffield United are heading back to the 2nd tier, and for the first time in a long time, the Blades have liftoff. Promoted back to the Championship. Joyous scenes here at Sixfields. They had to turn the game on its head, having gone behind to a Mark Richards strike, but boy did they. And John Fleck sealed the deal late on after Leon Clark had got an equaliser, and the party has very much started.
Yeah, it's a wonderful day. I think just to bring us back down to earth, we now need to win the championship. That'd be finishing it off lovely. Absolutely thrilled to bits for Chris and Alan. I think what they've achieved this season, the team spirit that you've had all the time. Everybody congratulates the player when they score, and yeah, it's been a great effort. Been some wonderful football played, and that's the important fact. We've done it playing good, progressive football. We've not tipping it around at the back and trying to play from back to front. We've been positive, got people in the box. We've scored goals from all different areas of the pitch, and I think nobody can doubt that we've fully deserved it. Lovely to be back in the championship. I look forward to that very much, but in the meantime I shall look forward to the last remaining games of Sheffield United, because as we say on the BBC, we are going to be covering them
every step of the way.
Yeah.
And 9 points clear, Keith Edwards. They could in theory win the title at Port Vale if Bolton lose.
Yeah, that's all we need now, isn't it? We don't want any negatives, and it'll be
World's most stupid question. How are you feeling?
Just blown away, I think. Yeah, lost for words really.
You're a little bit emotional now, aren't we?
Yeah, well, not really. Only recently it's just kicked in really. So I had a word with the players, just told them what I thought about them, how they've been, and talked about the players that have not played a lot, what they've done for the football club, sacrificed everything. The staff have been absolutely outstanding, and given everything to give the players the best opportunity. I thought the club was going nowhere last year, and I'm not being disrespectful to anything. I thought it was a critical period, and no staff could have turned it in, but they didn't. They gave me everything, bringing new staff in, myself and Alan and Matt, and the players that I inherited, slate clean, go on, the players we've brought in, and most importantly, the biggest part of the football club is the support that we've had, that we've received week in, week out, home and away. Has been absolutely unbelievable. Not surprised, because I've been out there with them, and they deserve that, because they've been put through quite a lot for the last 6 years. So seeing the scenes at the end, I'm sure people can understand that why I feel